Welcome to Module 3. In this module, we're going to be talking about software test execution. We're going to discuss the process of software test execution in great detail. Test execution means to run the test cases on the software system in a test environment to check the system behavior. This process also involves defect finding and reporting the defects to the development team for defect fixing. This module is subdivided into 5 different lessons. We're going to learn about each of the lessons in detail in this module. Let's get started. By the end of this module, you'll be able to understand the software test execution, the test result recording, defect logging, defect lifecycle, defect analysis and prevention, and software testing metrics. Let's dig in. At the end of this lesson, you're going to understand test cases grouping, the test bed setup, the decision to stop software testing, the software testing result recording, and the test result content. Let's talk about software test execution. This process of actual running of the test cases on the application with relevant input data is known as test execution. For example, testing the login functionality of the online banking system with a valid user ID and a password. Test execution is the most important part of software testing. It's mainly checking if the software application is working as per the end user's requirements. Also, the main aim of the software testing is to find defects in the software system and get these resolved before delivering it to the end user. Test execution involves the following phases: test cases grouping, the creation of a test bed, the actual test execution, then of course the recording test results and reporting, then the defects logging into the defect tracking system, and finally the re-execution of the test cases. Test cases grouping. The classifications of the available test cases is known as the test cases grouping. The test cases can be grouped based on the factors listed below. Number 1, the client requirements. Number 2, the business level scenarios. Number 3, test execution priority. Number 4, the data availability. And number 5, test cases having dependencies, etc. Let's discuss the benefits of test case grouping. We believe it helps in better test management. As the test cases are already grouped, it helps in defining the test execution priority effectively. It also helps in early identification of any issues that may arise in the execution process. Thus, improvement in the overall efficiency of testing can be observed after the correct grouping of the test cases. Let's take a look at how we're going to set this up. Now we're going to go over the test bed setup. Specific arrangements or configurations of the software testing environment is called the test bed setup. The test bed mainly consists of the following elements: the hardware supporting the test execution, the main software system on which the test execution is to be conducted, the test data as a part of the test bed setup. Test data can be different types, as listed below. The test data may be taken from available data in the database, which is commonly known as production data. For example, in a purchase order management system for buying computer hardware, a buyer can select standard sets of computer hardware, peripherals from the available drop-down, or a list of values which are available. Also, new or fresh data may need to be created, depending upon the testing requirements. For example, in cases of POMS, or POMS, for international import and export purposes, buyers need to add new items per their own requirements, as they may hold strict international maritime rules regarding purchases. As well, the operating system supporting testing activities. Finally, the network which is supporting the software's testing activities. Decision to stop test execution. When would you decide to stop software test execution? The aim of software testing is to find defects which affect smooth functioning of the application. Factors that help in deciding when to stop test execution include confidence level in the software behavior as expected in the business requirements. For example, in case of the online banking system, if the system is performing the banking transactions as per the client requirement document, then testing can be stopped in consultation with the client. Another reason to stop would be the predefined quality goals being achieved as compared to the actual software's behavior. Software testing can then be stopped after consultation with higher management. For example, an online banking system, if all the test cases developed are passed, then it can be said to be passing quality target, and as a result, the testing can be stopped. Another reason to stop would be if a number of open defects that are there are very small and with limited severity, so it's not impacting the smooth functioning for the system. Then testing could be halted. For example, any cosmetic defect which is not on the header page is pending to be fixed. That's a very low severity defect, and of course on the upgrade it could be fixed. And most importantly, a decision from the client side to stop the testing is a good reason to stop the testing. This decision has to be authenticated, and the test manager should have sufficient proof to stop the testing. Thus, if one or more of these situations listed above are fulfilled, the software testing can be stopped, only after consultation with the higher management. Let's talk about the test results recording. The test results recording is a complete documentation of problems or issues faced during test execution. It can be termed as the first step towards the resolution. First, the test results can be recorded using a simple Word or Excel doc, defect tracking tools like Bugzilla, or even tools like Quality Center or Test Management. Moving on, generally the following stakeholders are expected to receive recorded results of the test execution process. That would be the end users, the software project manager, the IT quality assurance team, the developers, and the end users from the customer side. Test results will be circulated to the development team, who owns the code prior to others, as they should have an opportunity to confirm or reject the defect. This helps in improving relationships with the developers. Let's get a good look at the content here. Difference between testing result recording and content. Test result recording is a method to display the final result of the testing process. The test result content is a standardized template which contains final test results. Test result content. Test logs are documents which record the test results of the test cases which are already executed. The main content of a test log is, of course, the general information, the test conditions, the actual results. In addition, actual defect screenshots may also be attached. It should include detailed steps of the test steps so that it will be very easy to reproduce the defect at the developer end. A clear version number of the software being tested, and of course the functionalities which are not covered in current test releases, with reasons why. Click each content of the test log to learn more about them. General information. This mentions details like the project ID, the project name, the test case ID, the test case description, the date and time of the test execution, the tester name, the build number, the test data used, etc., etc. The test condition. This mentions expected results of the functionality after the execution of the test case. Actual results. Mentions the actual result of the testing. Generally, the tester needs to select options, either pass or fail, depending upon the actual test result of the test execution. This slide represents the test execution process diagrammatically, which we discussed in earlier slides.